What up, friends? It's Trainer Joe, and I'm here with the Answer Baseball Warm-Up Workout. What we're going to do first is come to the front of our answer. I'm going to grab 2 tennis balls that we can do answers while throwing the ball up against the wall. Working on throwing the ball as we engage our abs coming forward in the sit-up. So much of our velocity comes from utilizing our core properly when throwing. Doing the answer while throwing the ball allows us to build up our core strength while building up our leg and our glute strength, which are 2 other factors that help us with the velocity when we're throwing the ball. We're going to work both hands so that we can work the hand-eye coordination, both sides of the brain. We're going to do 20 reps, 10 each hand, and then we're going to move into sit-up ball throws. We're going to do 10 each hand. Going back, and again, we're going to throw as we come up, engaging the abs for the sit-up. We're going to do both hands because we want our hand-eye coordination to improve. When we're hitting and when we're fielding, it's all based on reaction. And the more that we can work on our reaction, the better we can get. Good. Now we're going to come into some rotator cuff down motions, 20 of them. Keeping our arms parallel with the ground in plane with one another. 90 degrees in our shoulder joint, 90 degrees in our elbow joint. Rotating as far forward as we can. I encourage you to use a therapy band while you do this because it provides great resistance. And then we're going to come back into our answer ball throws. We're putting these in for another couple of sets because we want to get 100 answers in, which will give us 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, and will improve our cardio. So while we're doing all the other exercises, our heart rate will be up and all of our muscles will get a chance to get warm. Working our right hand, then our left hand, creating dexterity through the body, focusing on doing both hands so that we can have balance no matter where the ball is in the field of play, no matter where the pitch is and where the pitch is coming from. When we go against a right-hand pitcher or a left-hand pitcher, it creates a different experience. Now we're going to do crossover dribbles. Rotating across our body gets our mind to work both sides of the body. When we rotate, it engages our obliques. When we're throwing and when we're hitting, we get trunk rotation. This exercise is fantastic for building those obliques and getting range of motion and flexibility through our core. We're going to come back over to our therapy band, rotator cuffs up. We're going to keep our arms in a similar position. Our arms will be parallel with the ground and in plane with one another. We're going to have 90 degrees in our elbows, 90 degrees in our shoulders. We're going to allow the band to stretch us back as far as it can, and then we're going to lift up to parallel. Inhaling back, exhaling up. This is going to support our shoulder joint in both directions when we're throwing. Coming back to our answer ball throws, and go at a tempo that gives you an opportunity to get your heart rate up. The quicker that we go, the more that our heart rate elevates. Also, the quicker that we go, the quicker we need to react to successfully catch the ball. Inhaling down, exhaling up. Building the core, building the trunk, building the quads and the glutes to add power and to add velocity to our throwing and to our hitting, as well as increasing our speed. Our 60 time is extremely important in baseball, and having strong legs and strong core will help improve that. Now we're going to come to the back of our answer for some donkey kicks here. The idea here is to honor the 3rd law of physics. For every action, there's equal and opposite reaction. So now we want to build up those glutes as well as hit the posterior chain because we have so abs, our obliques, and our lower back. Coming back to our therapy band, we're going to move into some shoulder flies. Keeping the elbows fixed by our side. Open up, rotating through the shoulder as far as possible, and then engage the muscles as we contract, bringing the hands together. Working the shoulder joint in yet another direction. The shoulder joint is awesome because it moves in so many directions. Coming back to the front of our answer, we have another 20 answer ball throws. Getting the dexterity, strengthening the core to support the spine. Our brain is a sending and receiving transmitter, and when we have a strong core, it allows us to send and receive messages to and from our brain with our body. This helps because when we're getting a split second to react to a pitch or to a ball that's been hit into the field of play, we have to act and react in a split second. So the more that we can work our brain, the more we increase that ability. We come back to the back of our answer for some fire hydrants. We're going to do 20 each leg. What we're doing here is increasing the range of motion and flexibility through the hip joint, as well as building the glutes and getting the posterior chain, lifting it as high as we can. This helps with pitching, this helps with throwing, this helps with hitting, and then that first step out of the box, this helps with stealing bases. And then we're going to come back over and we're going to do the reverse angles of the rotator cuff right here, coming up, pulling away. So this gives us the tension in a different direction. Arms parallel with the ground, in plane with one another, 90 degrees in our elbows, 90 degrees in our shoulders, rotating as far as we can. Coming back into our next set of answers with some ball throws. This will be our final set. This will put us at 100 repetitions. That's 50 catches with our right hand, 50 catches with our left hand, and we're working so many neurological synapses while we're doing this. Because we're building our quads, our glutes, our core, and catching the ball at the same time, we're firing so many neurons in our brain. And this is really, really an exciting thing to do, because when we're running and catching the ball at the same time, we're working our quads, our glutes, our core, our cardio, and our hand-eye coordination. Now we're going to come into some hip thrust ball throws. We're going to go down with our hips, and then we're going to throw the ball and lift the hips at the same time. This is working two different motions, and it is causing your brain to function at a much higher level while working on our hand-eye coordination, throwing the ball and catching the ball, 10 with our right hand, 10 with our left hand. This is an incredible way to work the lower back and the glutes, as well as the hand-eye coordination. And moving into our final warm-up activity, we're going to do some reverse shoulder flies, keeping those elbows pinned by our side, and then pulling back, engaging through the scaps and the shoulders as we rotate back. That's today's baseball answer warm-up. Thank you so much for choosing to join me and invest in the wealth of your health.